Hey guys, how's it going? It's Haseel here. So this is my first video of my Paragon Early Access Beginner's Guide, and I've decided to label this as Early Access Beginner's Guide because come open beta, and maybe even further down the road, I'm probably going to have to redo this series all over again because there's going to be a lot of things changed in the game. This is in early access development, so things like what I'm covering right now, the UI, it's going to get overhauled. Things in the game are going to get overhauled. Things are going to change. So for now, I'm going to be labeling this as Early Access Beginner's Guide. And like I said, I'll probably overhaul it when the game is closer to launch or when it's an open beta or I feel it's at a point where it's a good spot where they're not going to be changing too much. So let's get into it, guys. You know, we're going to be reviewing the UI over here. There's tons of information. As you can see here, there's a lot of stuff going on the screen. So let's get into it. And I broke it down into I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spots, right? So 7 categories that we're going to be talking about real quick. So let's get into it, guys. So let's look at the top left-hand corner. So this is pretty straightforward stuff. You guys probably already know this, but let's go over it. It's your kill, your death, and your assist ratio, right? So it's 1, 2, 3. So kills, your death, and assists. So that's essentially where you progress or what you're doing in the game. This is where you can check it out, right? So let's look at the top over here. We're going to be looking at this. So this is your match time counter. So in this case, I was playing against AI. I was 8 minutes and 27 seconds into the game so far. This white bar and this white bar is essentially the death count counter time. When someone dies, in this case, the AI Sevrog died. And when they die, they start on this side here and they count downwards. And this number here represents when they're going to respawn. So in this case, Sevrog is going to respawn within 4 seconds. So as you level up in the game and you're higher up in level, your respawn timer is much longer. So you'll see people's upwards of 40-something seconds or whatever the case, 50 seconds. And you'll see them counting down. When the multiple heroes die, you'll see multiple icons. And same thing on this side here. So this side represents your side. This side represents the enemy side. All right, so next one, we're going to be looking at the mini-map. So this mini-map, self-explanatory, nice big mini-map on your screen. I personally like this mini-map. A lot of people say they don't like the mini-map. I do like the mini-map. My next video is going to be breaking down the mini-map. So yeah, pretty self-explanatory. That's the mini-map, guys. And like I said, stay tuned to the next video. I'm definitely going to be breaking that down. There's a lot of information on this map that needs to be broken down and shown separately in a separate video. And so let's look at this. And I was glad I got this screenshot here because this is not something that comes up commonly on your screen. But essentially what this is essentially saying that Gadget on your team is feeding you 190 card experience, right? So this icon represents card experience. And this number represents the amount of experience, right? So how does that happen? Basically, if you look here on the mini-map, Gadget's sitting on a harvester or standing on a harvester, and what she's doing is she's actually harvesting the experience from that harvester and sending it off to her teammates. And that's the result of what this is on your screen. So it's telling you that Gadget's sending you 190 card experience to yourself. So that's what comes up on your screen. So if you're wondering why is this keep flashing up on my screen, that's essentially, it's a good thing, guys. It's not a bad thing. This is really, really good thing because you need card experience to, level up your cards. So let's break down. Here's the overall, the bottom left-hand corner here. We're gonna look at this. All right, so let's look at this. So a lot of information here, guys. Let's go through it fairly quick. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 active slots. So 1, 2, 3, 4 active slots. And on a PlayStation 4, it would be left D-pad, up D-pad, down D-pad, and right D-pad, right? And this is where you slot your cards, right? So these are your active slots. So active slots meaning you have a card that you need to press a button to activate, right? So in this case, a health pod or a mana pod is an active card. So it needs to be put in an active slot. You cannot put an active card in a passive. So this slot here and this slot here are passive slots. As you see, there's no key binds for them or button binds for them. So they need to be put in an active slot. So in this case here, the mana pod's in here. And the mana pod has 3 charges. So these 1, 2, 3 lines that you see here, that means that there's 3 charges. Same thing for a mana pot, has 3 charges. A harvester key has 1 charge. It's not an active ability, but it shows you it does have 1 charge. And when you go out and you stand on a harvester and you build a harvester, it'll actually use up this charge, and this white charge will turn like a dark gray. And same thing with the health and mana pots. If you actually use one of the charges, this white charge will turn dark gray. And if you use all of them, it'll all be dark gray. And then when you come back to base, it'll automatically refill. You don't have to purchase it or anything like that again. It just automatically gets refilled, and you could go back out and use it as you wish, right? So this right here is telling you that you have 3 unspent points. This is your card experience. Again, remember this icon here is your card experience icon. It's telling you have 3 unspent points, and you can use these points to purchase your cards or upgrades or whatever the case is, right? And then this over here, I highlighted it again. This shows that I've purchased a card, and it's a 3 cost card. And as you see, here's a 1 over here, a 1 over here, and 1 over here. All these cards, 1, 2, 3, all cost 1 point each. In this case, this card cost me 3 points. So that's what that number represents, guys. So as you upgrade this card, this number will increase. So in this case, this equipment card has 3 open slots. Once we upgrade this card, this, if we put another 3 point in there, it'll turn this number to 6. So that's pretty much what that is, guys. And this are other open slots where you can add more cards into it. All right, so let's look into the right side over here. So this is where your abilities are located, and what button. So let's look at the bottom over here. So 4, 5, R, L, left button, and right mouse button. These are your key binds for each of these abilities. And if you're on PlayStation 4, it'll be like, triangle, square, circle, whatever the case is, right? So it'll have the corresponding key binds or button binds for the abilities, right? So in this case, all this flashy stuff is telling you that hold left control to upgrade, or I think on PlayStation 4, it's hold L2 to upgrade, and then you hit the corresponding keybind to upgrade it. So that's why you have all this animation. It's just letting you know that it's time to upgrade. Essentially, you leveled up your character. In this case, I just dinged number 6, as you can see over here. So it's telling me I have, I could level up one of my abilities. This over here is telling me that my shield block for steel is on cooldown. So I used it, and it's telling me that there's 3 seconds left before I can use it again. So that's what that is. And then the lock icon, self-explanatory. I haven't unlocked this yet. This is Steel's Ultimate. I could essentially use it right now or unlock it right now, and that lock icon will no longer be there. So let's look down right into the meat and potatoes of the UI, which is this over here, there's a lot of good information here. It's not really clear to people, so let's just break it down. To the left here, this is your card experience. So again, little icon, there's your little icon for your card experience. It currently tells you your current card experience level. So in this case, we're at 9 card experience level, right? And as you level this up, as this progresses down and goes up, it'll level up again. So the way card experience work, guys, it levels up in 3s. So first, it goes in 3, 6, 9, which I hit 9 now. And then once I get this bar all progressed all the way back up here, this 9 will turn into a 12, and I'll get another additional 3 points. So right now, I'm say at card experience number 9, or card experience 9. I have 3 points currently to spend, right? Once I hit 12, I'll have 6 points to spend. Once I hit 15, I'll have 9 points to spend. So that's pretty much what this is and how this works, right? So the right side is your hero experience, right? So currently level 6. Every time you ding, so this again will start progressing. I just hit 6, so every time it'll progress up. And once I ding another level, I'll be level 7, and then I'll have the ability to upgrade one of these abilities again, right? So every time you hit a level, you'll have an ability to upgrade one of your abilities again. And now let's look at these numbers here, guys. So this bar above here, this big long bar, is your health bar. This long bar, skinny bar at the bottom, is your mana bar. So every hero in the game has health. Every hero in the game has mana. The way this works is these numbers, not the bigger numbers, but these numbers to the right of the bigger numbers, represent the full count of your health. So in this case, I have 1,550 health. This is the full count of this bar here. And then I have 246 mana. This is the full count of this mana bar here. Since I just used the Steel's shield block, I used a bit of my mana. And this number here to the left of this number represents the current active mana I have left remaining in my pool. So in this case, I use his shield block, I use a little of his mana. Now I have 215 mana left remaining from the 246 that I had. Health, I have not taken any damage, so I am full. But if I took damage, this would chunk down, then you would see this number represent how much health you have left, right? This here tells you, in this case for me, I have 2.9 mana regen per second. So every second, if I take, every second, if I have like no health or less than 100% health, I'll be regenerating 2.9 health per second, not percent, it's health per second. So 3 health per second essentially. And then same thing with here, that I have 1.3 mana per second. So in this case, I've used up my mana, a bit of my mana. So now I'll slowly start regenerating my mana by 1.3 mana per second over time, right? So that's pretty much what the video entails, guys, for the UI overview. So hopefully this helped you out. Like I said, I'll be making this is going to be a big series. I'm going to be covering a lot of stuff. Next one's going to be on the mini map. It's a beginner's guide. It's going to teach you about Paragon, about MOBAs, about laning, about terminology, about a lot of good stuff, guys. So it's going to be a good overview for anyone that's new to MOBAs, or even just, has touched MOBAs but want to learn a little bit about Paragon. This series is definitely going to be helping you guys out. So if you liked the video, guys, drop a like down below. Any comments and suggestions, I definitely read those, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Have a good one, guys. Take it easy.